Hello and welcome to the Dread Siggy tutorial video. This video we're going to cover how to navigate the wormhole chains using Siggy and what kind of information is available for you to use through the Siggy interface. So to start off, this video is assuming that you've already logged into Siggy. So if you haven't done that already and you haven't linked an account to Siggy yet, please go back to the Alliance introduction video where we go through all of the Alliance tools and information where you will learn how to sign into that. Or if you just want to navigate to the Alliance message of the day, just because you haven't done it yet, then go ahead and sign in and then continue this video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the number one question that's asked is, how do I get to the home wormhole? The home wormhole is Valhalla, and you will need to be on the Valhalla chain to do that. If you aren't on it, you can just click the drop down menu and get to it. This right here, the C4 called Valhalla, is obviously our home wormhole. This particular rectangle here will always be on this map. It can't be deleted. The other things that you see here are temporary. Everything else on this map is not going to be there when you look at this map at the time of this video being created, most likely. All of the things on this map currently represent a system in Eve. If there is a C in front of it, it is a system in wormhole space. It means classification, a class, right? So C5 is class 5 wormhole space, C3 is class 3 wormhole space, so on and so forth. If there's a green H, it is high security. If there is an orange L, it is low security space. If there is a red 00, it is null security space. So if you want to get to Valhalla, you will need to find a chain within this map that connects to Empire space, which is high, low, or null. So in this particular instance, there is only one instance of this happening, which is Mirama in domain. So I am currently logged in with my account, Erectus Black Manicus, best name ever. I have already navigated to this system, but if you aren't in the system, what you can do is you can right click and press set destination, and then for the character that's logged in, it will set the destination for you in game, so you can actually see and navigate to that system. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm already in Mirama, so let's go ahead and go look at the screen where I am in Mirama. So once you've navigated to the system, you will right click in space and you will go to the corporate locations under wormhole exits and entrances, and you will navigate to the Valhalla chain. It'll be different depending on who bookmarked it. There will be different types of bookmarks. Sometimes there'll be two, like you see here. Sometimes it'll be called something different other than Valhalla. It just kind of depends on who did the bookmark or how many people found the bookmark on that given day. So once you've landed on the wormhole, which you can see here, you will select the wormhole, and it operates just like a Stargate. I'm going to delete this. It operates just like a Stargate, and you will jump through it just like a Stargate by pressing enter the wormhole. And what you will find is that we are now in J135036. And if we go back to our map, you will find that we have now been logged in the class 3. So the Siggy has tracked us into this next system, and now you know that you need to go one more jump into Valhalla. So we will again right click, go to the corporate locations, and we'll go to the wormhole exits, and we'll navigate to Valhalla again. So what you're doing is basically following a breadcrumb trail, so to speak, to get back to the wormhole. So we are in the C3 as you saw, and now we are warping to the Valhalla wormhole connection in the C3 to jump into the actual Valhalla wormhole. So once we've landed on this wormhole, we're going to go ahead and jump through it just like we did to the one beforehand. And you will find that once you jump through, that after a couple of seconds, the game will recognize that you have jumped through, and it'll notice that you are now in Valhalla. So now that we've jumped from the C3 here over into the C4, you've finally made it into the home wormhole. So now you need to navigate to the structures that we have in the wormhole. To do that, you either have it on your overview, as you can see here. I have the three structures here, or you can right click and you can go to the structures, which is located here, and dock in any of the 1, 3. We suggest that you store all of your assets here, which is the Fortizar and Alaka's home for needy snowflakes. You can right click and just press dock. So we're in warp to the Fortizar, so we will go back and take a look at Siggy. So on Siggy, there are a couple of different things that you'll notice. So for example, here there's these little white lines around. What that means is that it is a small ship only wormhole, meaning that destroyers and smaller are the only ships that can fit through that wormhole. Things that have a great connection are normal wormholes, and their size limitations will be explained to you in the Alliance Bulletin, which was explained in the Alliance Introduction video. There are different things that you can notice too. These exclamation points, it typically means that there's some sort of activity in them, and this the purple lines here means it's end of life, which you learned about in your introductory video as well. And there are different other things that you can set as well. For example, I can temporarily set this to stage 3, which would mean that it is critical, on the verge of collapse. Right, stage 1, which is normal. Stage 2 is half mass, and you can mark this however you wish by right-clicking on the connection. And we suggest that you do this if you warp to a wormhole and you find that it is either end of life or is a small ship only or half mass, critical mass. That we always encourage you to go ahead and mark it as such on Siggy, so that way people know as they're coming through. Another thing that you'll notice is that there are these little icons. Actually, you probably just saw there that the map just updated. That was someone live updating the map, and it updated for me there too. So everything that's done is updated globally for everyone. So anyways, so these little circles here, they represent effects in the system. We have a couple of the effects on the map right now, and we'll go over them. Valhalla, which is a magnetar, which is an increase to raw damage and an increase, or rather a decrease to tracking and application. Here, the Wolf Riot, system effect, Red Giants, and Cataclysmic are the ones that we have on the map right now. And you can always click on a system to see whether or not it has an effect. You click on it, and then you go to System Effects, and you can see whether or not there's anything on it. Another thing that you can check from the wormholes is the statics, and more importantly, the IDs of the statics. So in Valhalla, for example, you know that there's a C3 and a C5 static, but also you know the IDs on it. So within Valhalla, or within any wormhole, when you warp to the wormholes that you've scanned down, if it has the identifier C247 on it, you know that that is the C3 static for that wormhole. If you find the wormhole with H900, you know that it is the C5 static. Just like in this particular wormhole here, this class 5, if you find the wormhole with the identifier Y790, you know that that's going to be a class 1 wormhole. On top of this, there's some other information that you can kind of gather from Siggy. So if you scroll down, sometimes, I don't know if there's one in this particular instance, but you can add signatures to a system. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do this for Valhalla. So I'm going to go back and look at the character, and we're going to undock. We're going to go to our probe scanner. I'm going to filter out our anomalies, and we're going to see that we've got 4 signatures in here, of which we don't know what they are. We're going to say we don't know what they are. We're going to select them all. We're going to copy them. We're going to go back over to Siggy. Right? And now we're going to import this information. So there's a mass sig reader here. And you can do this by clicking on it and then pasting. And then once you've done that, press submit. And in Valhalla, now you can see the 4 signatures that are in there. And as you figure out what they are, you can go over here and you can edit it, and you can type in what it is, whether it's a wormhole, whether it's a gas site, whether it's a data or a relic site. And this is extremely helpful for a number of reasons. First of all, if there is a corporation that is in the alliance that doesn't have the bookmarks, they can go down here and they can say, okay, CKY is a wormhole, BJM is a wormhole, and you can say that this is the C3 static, and this is the C5 static, and this is a gas site. They can actually go through and they can say, okay, I just need to find the way out. They look at this map, they come up here and they look at this and they say, well, I want to get to Mirima, but I don't have any of these bookmarks. If all of these are in the SIG reader, then everyone will know which SIGs to scan down to easiest. That'll make it the easiest for them to get out. Um, Other than that, the rest of the information that Siggy has is something that we would like to save for a later video, simply because we don't want to overwhelm pilots as they're coming in. Many of you who are watching this are probably new players to the game or just new players to Wormhole Space. So we will leave it at that. If you have any questions regarding how to navigate Siggy, or if something wasn't clear, please reach out to us on Discord, ask questions, and we will try and clarify this. Thank you for watching, and good luck in Wormhole Space.